नमस्कार दोस्तों। कहानी हम सब की में आप सबका प्यार भरा स्वागत है। कैसे हैं आप लोग? उम्मीद करता हूं अच्छे होंगे, अच्छे ही रहना। तो दोस्तों, आज हम आपके सामने महेश कामत सर की कहानी का पार्ट 2 लेकर के आए हैं। पार्ट 1 में हमने देखा था कि किस तरह महेश कामत सर की रुचि थी अलग अलग भाषाओं को सीखने की, और इस तरह उन्होंने फ्रेंच सीखी, रशियन सीखी, जर्मन सीखी और उसके बाद संस्कृत लैंग्वेज भी सीखी। और उन्हें ये पता चला कि यदि वो संस्कृत पहले सीख लेते तो बाकी सारी भाषाएं जो उन्होंने सीखी थी सीखना शायद उनके लिए और आसान हो जाता। आखिर में हमने उनसे पूछा था कि संस्कृत भाषा सीखने के बाद उनके जीवन में क्या बदलाव आया, किस तरह से उनकी लाइफ ट्रांसफॉर्म हुई। तो उन्होंने हमसे ये कहा।
सर ये आपने इतनी पढ़ाई की संस्कृत की, आपको अपने आप में या अपने जीवन में क्या बदलाव नजर आया ये संस्कृत पढ़ने के बाद, संस्कृत समझने के बाद?
My basic takeaway I would like to say that I try to find similarities in other languages, and to be very honest with you, I have started thinking about the other languages which I was supposed to have learned,
Oh, okay.
and have been able to refine them also in many ways.
All right.
Like, for example, the vibhaktis that we are talking about, that they are seem to be apparently missing in English. हम बोलते हैं कि they are missing in English. तो ऐसा नहीं है, इंग्लिश में भी the cases are used, though they may not be very explicitly, in different forms, may not be available. So I have been able to refine my other languages also when I did a rethink about the languages that which I am supposed to know. I am putting them in quotes.
Correct.
जो मैं सोचता था कि I am good at it and I know it. Learning Sanskrit has brought me back to the drawing board, so to say. That do I really know it, or do I know it correctly, or do I know it wrongly? For example, uh, a very common problem in English is suppose I'm at the door and I'm knocking the door, and the person asks, "Who is it?" So do I say it is me, or do I say it is I? This is a question which I have posed to many people.
Right.
Which is the right way to say it? It is me, or it is I? So many people have told me it is me, which is not right. It should be it is I. Now, इसके ऊपर पहले इतना ध्यान दिया नहीं था। जब भी संस्कृत पढ़ा तभी ध्यान दिया कि इज दिस ये सेंटेंस में इट इज मी सही है, इट इज आई सही है। एंड संस्कृत टोल्ड मी दैट नो, इट इज मी इज नॉट करेक्ट, इट हैज टू बी इट इज आई. This is only one example I am giving, but many other places where I find that I have been able to look very closely to the very phenomenon of language and how we communicate, and what words are suitable, what words are grammatically right, and what is the very need for grammar. That is the first question that arises. Why should we speak grammatically?
Correct.
Why not speak? I have my own grammar, you have your own grammar. So what I say, you may understand it differently. For me, something is an apple, but for you, apple means an elephant. So the creation of a common platform. Again, we are coming to common platform.
Yes.
So these things slowly are the takeaway in learning the Sanskrit language. Obviously, Bhagavad Gita speaks more now than it used to speak before. After knowing Sanskrit, whether you are able to implement in life or not, those are different things, because you are a bundle of emotions, not only buddhi, there is the mind, the indriya, all these are playing a role. So it helps in your gradual journey to self-improvement also.
सर, जैसे हम थोड़ा पहले का ज़माने के बारे में बात करें तो we still used to have people who would have learned this language, those who would know. And like I said today, it's about maybe the other languages but not Sanskrit. What do you think, अगर आगे संस्कृत सीखा ही नहीं गया तो ये खजाना जो शास्त्रों का हमारे पास है जिसमें आपने कहा कि हर चीज है, आपको गणित सीखना है, आपको लॉजिक सीखना है, जो कुछ भी सीखना है हमारे शास्त्रों में है, तो ऐसा नहीं लगता कि ये कहीं ना कहीं सब डिसअपियर हो जाएगा अगर किसी ने संस्कृत
बिल्कुल
सीखा ही
लगता
नहीं?
है कि अगर ये फॉलो नहीं किया गया तो लुप्त हो जाएगा। बल्कि मैं ये कहूंगा कि बहुत सारा ज्ञान लुप्त हो गया है,
हो गया है ऑलरेडी।
ऑलरेडी हो गया। Many things we have lost it. Very honestly, there are so many things, in this realm of knowledge, which we might have already lost,
Oh,
and
yes.
which modern science is trying to find out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, all these ideas, these concepts are there in our shastra,
Correct.
but because of sheer lack of knowledge of the language,
Yeah.
there is nobody to interpret it, and it is all gone.
Exactly.
ऐसा बोला जाता है कि जो देयर इज अ वेरी फेमस बुक कॉल्ड कॉन्सेप्ट कॉल्ड वैदिक मैथमेटिक्स,
Yes,
आपको
yes,
पता होगा।
yes, बिल्कुल,
यू नो,
बिल्कुल।
सो दिस वाज रिटन बाय आई थिंक शंकराचार्य ऑफ पुरी,
Ah,
एंड इट सीम्स ही हैड रिटन सम 16 volumes. Shankaracharya of Puri had written 16 volumes, and he was a Parivrajaka, so he used to go from town to town. They were not
correct,
standing and staying in one place.
correct.
So he had given the 16 volumes to somebody to safekeep, some Brahmin.
Ah,
Many years the guy did not come back. So this guy threw it away into Radhi,
oof.
and with great difficulty, one book was reclaimed, which what is available as Vedic maths today. So I just shudder to think, what could be there in those other 15 books? What that personality would have written about mathematics, about physics, about what we call as modern physics nowadays.
बिल्कुल, बिल्कुल।
We talk of quantum mechanics.
Yeah, yeah,
We
yeah.
talk of variability of time passing for me differently, for you differently, for some other entity differently.
Yes.
I also happen to hear modern physicists say that there is no gravity, but the gravity is nothing but an abnormality of time.
अच्छा,
There is nothing like gravity. As a modern physicists are nowadays saying. So all these concepts are there in our shastra. We
yes,
say that Trikaleshwar, your Mahakaleshwar,
yeah,
right? Mahakal, what they call as Mahakal. So
Mahakal.
Kala is time. So how much significance was given to time?
very true. Very
So
true.
all these things are there in our shastra. Somebody has to interpret it. And if we don't concentrate on learning this language, and the new generations don't pick up this, then this will be lost.
Correct.
Lost for good.
हाँ बिल्कुल, क्योंकि उस दिन भी हम पढ़ रहे थे हमारे जितने ये ऑटोमोबाइल डिजाइनिंग बोलो, आप एयरक्राफ्ट बताओ, आर्किटेक्चर को, एवरीथिंग इज देयर।
Were we not building
Everything is there. Yeah.
building fabulous buildings?
Amazing ones.
Then we talk about the great pyramids of of Giza. What about the Brihadeshwara temple in Tanjavur? Such colossal structures cannot be built without knowing mathematics, without knowing civil engineering, without knowing
Absolutely right.
structural engineering,
Absolutely.
without knowing geography. If you are building such a big structure, then what is below it? Can it take the weight of this huge structure? So you must know soil structure.
Yes.
You should know geology.
Yes.
How can you else build? So if something which was built 1,000 years ago, then this knowledge would have been there, which we say is all modern. We are attributing the laws of gravity, the laws of sound, the laws of light to Isaac Newton, who is in 17th century. Then did we not? Don't we have the Gol Gumbaz in Bijapur? Then didn't they know about the laws of sound in 1500s before Newton?
बिल्कुल।
So imagine the vast extent of knowledge which is there in the Shastra. So we have to if we lose it, it will be a disaster.
Absolutely.
I won't say that we will never get the knowledge. We will get it in a hard way, possibly doing more research, spending more money, spending more time. We will somehow get it sometime. But if it is readily available, why not?
Why not? Yeah.
Very essential. We must uh, as I told you my own example, I strongly advocate that the Sanskrit language has to be learned very early in life, uh, making fundamentals of communication, go deep into your genes, and then any language becomes easy
True.
when you know how it is to be said. What is that common platform? When we know that, then looking for words is very easy.
Yeah.
Any dictionary will give you the words.
True.
सेब सेब फल है यार स्वादु फलम वा एप्पल या एप्पल all will be in the same thing.
बिल्कुल सर, अगर आज जैसे बहुत लोग आज भी हैं, जैसे हम भी बहुत इसमें और डीप जाकर के सीखना चाहते हैं, और बहुत सारे लोग होंगे शायद, ऐसा हो सकता है कि कहाँ से सीखें, कैसे सीखें, शायद ये जानकारी ना हो, तो सर अगर कोई सीखना चाहते हैं तो किस तरह से सीख सकते
There
हैं?
are a lot of books available today, and the internet is one wonderful medium today. So there is no excuse not to learn. Absolutely no excuse. There are wonderful books available with which you can definitely do. Obviously, if you have a teacher, experience is better, because information will be available. The sequence of information can be portrayed in a certain manner, and it becomes easier, faster to learn. No doubt about it. So, but I wouldn't like to say that that is the only method. A lot of books are available which can you can learn easily, no problem. It might take more time. Something which takes 1 day might take 2 days. Might take 10 days.
Correct.
Because the
Correct.
sequence of information delivery is essential.
Right.
Sometimes what happens is in a class, we tend to jump further, go back, learn wrong things also. Like, a child does not run, from day one. It has to crawl, it has to, totter here and there.
Correct.
It has to fall. इसमें लगता भी है. You get hurt also. You get bruised. Right? So this process also is there in learning a language. You might learn wrong things, which you might eventually correct later on. That's also a part of learning.
Absolutely. अब आप कितने साल से सर सीख रहे हैं?
This is around 10-12 साल से मेरा ये चल रहा है.
वाह.
So
और ये अभी क्या आपका विजन है, क्या आप करना चाहते हैं आगे इस लैंग्वेज को लेकर के?
जब ये शुरू किया था, 10 साल 12 साल पहले शुरू किया था, तभी लगा कि लर्न लाइक एनी अदर लैंग्वेज, 1-2 साल में हो जाएगा पढ़ के. अभी ऐसे हो रहा है कि as I go deeper, the pan is increasing. It is not becoming like this. It is becoming like this. So बहुत सारे to do list में बहुत सारा है. I am studying the अष्टाध्यायी. As a matter of fact, I am doing a course in अष्टाध्यायी.
अच्छा, okay.
In great detail.
Wow.
तो उसको 1-2 साल और जाएंगे उसको और जाने में, and I am sure the pan will become double, triple. I don't know. It will quadruple by that time.
Absolutely.
So a lot of things to be learned. So putting down a list is a somewhat difficult task in this language.
True.
I am doing my best to communicate this to people that learn this language, early, and it's really enjoyable, and it is good for your personal well-being.
दोस्तों, महेश कामत सर ने हमें बताया कि संस्कृत भाषा को सीखने का उनके जीवन पर 2 अलग-अलग स्तर पर प्रभाव हुआ. पहला तो ये कि उन्होंने कहा कि जब हम संस्कृत भाषा सीखते हैं तो इससे हमें हमारी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज भी और अच्छे तरीके से समझने में बहुत मदद मिलती है. कई सारी बातें ऐसी होती है जो उन्होंने कहा कि हम कंपेयर कर सकते हैं, और कुछ बातें शायद जो हमने पहले नहीं समझी थी वो भी धीरे धीरे हमें समझ में आने लगती है. कई सारी जो अलग अलग भाषाएं हैं उनमें क्या कॉमनैलिटीज है इसकी समझ हमें आ जाती है, और इस तरह से एक कॉमन प्लेटफॉर्म सा बन जाता है. हमें अक्सर लगता है कि हमारी जो फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज है उस पर हमारी बहुत जबरदस्त पकड़ है, लेकिन महेश सर ने बताया कि संस्कृत सीखने के बाद उन्हें इस बात का एहसास हुआ कि जो व्याकरण है हमारी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज का भी, कहीं ना कहीं उन्हें लगा कि शायद मेरी पकड़ उस पर उतनी मजबूत नहीं थी, लेकिन संस्कृत सीखने के बाद वहां भी उनकी प्रोफिशिएंसी काफी हद तक बढ़ गई। तो कहने का मतलब यही है कि संस्कृत भाषा का व्याकरण इतना मजबूत है कि इससे हमें हमारी फर्स्ट लैंग्वेज को भी और उसकी प्रोफिशिएंसी को बढ़ाने में भी बहुत मदद मिलती है। दूसरी बात जो और दूसरा स्तर जो उन्होंने बताया वो था एक स्पिरिचुअल लेवल पर। दोस्तों, यदि हम इस भाषा को सीखते हैं तो हमारे जो शास्त्र है ना उसे समझना हमारे लिए बहुत आसान हो सकता है। जनरली ये होता है कि जैसे मान लीजिए हम भगवत गीता पढ़ना चाहते हैं तो हम डिपेंड करते हैं किसी एक ट्रांसलेशन पर, किसी एक व्यक्ति के अपने इंटरप्रिटेशन और उनके ट्रांसलेशन को पढ़कर हम उसे समझने की कोशिश करते हैं। लेकिन महेश कामत सर ने कहा कि यदि हम खुद इस भाषा को समझते हैं तो हमारे लिए बहुत अलग अलग पॉसिबिलिटीज ओपन हो जाती है, क्योंकि हम खुद उसका इंटरप्रिटेशन कर सकते हैं। हम अपने नजरिए से भी बहुत सारी बातें देख सकते हैं और हमारे शास्त्रों को समझ सकते हैं। महेश कामत सर ने यह भी कहा कि यदि हम संस्कृत नहीं पढ़ेंगे तो शायद आने वाली पीढ़ियों को जो हमारे शास्त्रों में इतना खजाना है, शायद उनको उसका फायदा नहीं मिलेगा। हमारे शास्त्रों में तो कई सारी बातें लिखी है, जो कुछ भी आज हम मॉडर्न साइंस कहते हैं वो सारी बातें हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखी गई है। महेश कामत सर ने एक एग्जाम्पल दिया था, एक वो जो कोलोसल आर्किटेक्चर मंदिर का जो उन्होंने कहा था उसके बारे में, कि उस वक्त भी हजारों साल पहले ये मंदिर बना है, लेकिन इसका मतलब यही है कि उस वक्त भी वो नॉलेज था। जियोलॉजी का नॉलेज कह लो या गणित का नॉलेज कह लो, ये सारा नॉलेज उस वक्त था। लेकिन यदि अब हमने इस भाषा को नहीं समझा तो हम हमारे शास्त्रों को डिकोड कर ही नहीं पाएंगे, हम समझ ही नहीं पाएंगे। और यदि हमने इस भाषा को नहीं सीखा और हमारे ये शास्त्र लुप्त हो गए तो हमारी आने वाली पीढ़ी जो है वो इन सारे नॉलेज से वंचित रह जाएगी। जो कुछ भी इनोवेशन और हो सकता है वो भी नहीं हो पाएगा। उन्होंने कहा ऐसा नहीं है कि बिल्कुल नहीं हो पाएगा, लेकिन मेहनत बहुत ज्यादा होगी। जब ये नॉलेज हमारे पास अवेलेबल है तो क्यों न इसे सीखकर इसी का फायदा हमारी नेक्स्ट जनरेशन भी ले। तो दोस्तों, महेश कामत सर ने हमें वार्न किया है कि हमें इस भाषा को समझना ही चाहिए, सीखना ही चाहिए। यदि नहीं सीखा तो जिस तरह उन्होंने कहा वैदिक मैथमेटिक्स के बारे में कि सिर्फ हमारे पास एक ही वॉल्यूम अवेलेबल है, हो सकता है बाकी शास्त्र भी धीरे धीरे लुप्त हो जाए और हम इन सारे नॉलेज से वंचित रह जाएं। आगे हमने महेश सर से पूछा कि स्पिरिचुअलिटी में और किस तरह से इस भाषा ने उनकी मदद की। तो आइए सुनते हैं महेश कामत सर ने क्या कहा।
ये किस तरह से सर
पर्सनल वेलबींग का क्या होता है कि द पीस दैट यू गेट, you are told mantras to be told, you are saying it correctly, you are benefited. You can go through the Bhagavad Gita is a really master manual, which gives you a lot of solace in trying to understand things which are going right and which are going wrong. Right?
Yeah,
it gives you solace. So that gives you personal satisfaction also.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
at that level, it helps to heal your mind.
Correct.
There are times in which circumstances throw you here and there. You know, the indriya and the mana and the buddhi takes charge of you, and then you go through documents like this Bhagavad Gita, which bring you back and ground you, so it becomes useful.
Sir, that brings me to one question. आज का जो हमारा जिसको हम कॉर्पोरेट वर्ल्ड बोलते हैं, बहुत ज्यादा वहां पर हम कई लोगों से मिलते हैं। उनका कहना होता है कि बहुत स्ट्रेसफुल एनवायरनमेंट होता है एंड इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट। एक हम देखते हैं कि शायद पहले एक एज होती थी, वहां तक तो कभी हेल्थ प्रॉब्लम होते नहीं थे। आज बहुत अर्ली एज में हम देखते हैं कि हार्ट प्रॉब्लम एंड ब्लड प्रेशर एंड शुगर बहुत जल्दी बिकॉज ऑफ दिस काइंड ऑफ स्ट्रेस शुरू हो जाता है। और हमसे कई बार कहा भी जाता है कि आप स्ट्रेस मैनेजमेंट के ऊपर कुछ कीजिए क्योंकि बहुत स्ट्रेस है। तो वहां पर जो आप कह रहे हैं वेलबींग, how is
इसमें
that?
बहुत काम की चीज है, बिकॉज द भगवत गीता टीचेस यू अबाउट फोकस. जब भी आप व्हेन यू आर डूइंग योर वर्क, यू डू योर वर्क. When you are going out with your dog, you be with your dog. Bhagavad Gita teaches about focus. For example, when Krishna tells Arjuna, he tells him fight. He doesn't tell him not to fight.
Correct.
He tells him fight.
Correct.
So when you are at work, nobody is telling you that to leave your work and go to the forest.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
You do your work.
Correct.
So similarly, Krishna tells Arjuna that you have to fight. This is your task at hand. You do it properly. Right? It doesn't tell you that when you are fighting, it doesn't tell you to think about something else. So similarly, this concept of stress is trying to do things at the inappropriate times when you are nothing, when you are really not able to do anything.
Yes.
You are building the whole universe for yourself
Yeah,
in imagination and
absolutely.
creating problem for yourself.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
when you are doing something, do it. When you are not doing it, leave it. Do something else that you are doing.
Absolutely.
So this is what the Bhagavad Gita actually tells Krishna tells Arjuna that
Yes.
do what you are doing properly.
Yes, yes. True.
So be perfect in what you are doing. He says that yoga karmasu kaushalam. Yoga hai. What is yoga? You become the literal meaning of yoga is union.
Yes.
The union with what? The immediate question that arises is union with what? Right? So yoga karmasu kaushalam will has to be interpreted as yoga is that union with whatever you are doing. You become one with it. You are not divided between this and what is cooking at home.
Exactly.
You don't be divided.
Exactly.
You remain with one item.
Yes.
That is yoga.
Yeah.
So this is the prime takeaway from the Bhagavad Gita. In very stressful, obviously the war must have been a very stressful thing.
Absolutely.
You got to go and kill people. That's not a joke. You have to kill your own people. Even worse. And then the whole concept that this whole world is the Brahman, is Krishna, makes you forgiving.
Yeah.
That's another important part of it.
Very important
It makes
value.
it not only forgiving other people, you become self-forgiving also. If you have not achieved something, you forgive yourself.
Wow.
That okay, I didn't do it today. I might do it tomorrow. I might not do it at all. So that concept comes in.
Wow.
The bigger things come in than all these small nitty-gritties. That is the takeaway.
Yeah.
And this comes gradually on repetition and repetition. And many people have told me that the Bhagavad Gita is a lot of repetition. Yes, that is what a little while ago we discussed.
Absolutely, it has.
Concept is difficult. So does the teacher not repeat to you?
The teacher used to tell us, write it 10 times.
10 times? Yes. So this is what it is.
Yeah.
So repetition is a part of it. Otherwise, it doesn't get it.
Absolutely.
Even after so much repetition, sometimes it's difficult to execute.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then you have to again go back and repeat a few more times and convince yourself, no, that my dear, you are going the wrong way. This is the right way. So that is important. So the Bhagavad Gita really is a beautiful method of leading your life today and trying to become perfect as you go about.
I think it gives lot of calmness.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah, the calmness comes from the point where we convince yourself that you are not in control. This concept that you are in control, I am in control, I am in control of everything. The earlier you convince yourself that you are really not in control, the better it is. Then you will start doing things possibly without stress. As soon as that thing comes into your mind that I am in control, then you are very demanding. Very demanding on yourself also.
Oh, and at times, this control or the sense of that I am doing everything
Yes.
puts that lot of stress. I
That brings
remember.
me to a story.
Yeah.
Mama na idam.
Acha.
There's a beautiful story in some textbook I read it in a it's children's textbook, which is actually meant for elders also. To be very honest with you, Mamana Idam. So it talks of a king, who is simply not able to run his kingdom properly. Whatever he does, he is not able to run it properly. Somebody is dissatisfied or the other. So one day his guru walks to him and tells him that, look here, he tells the guru that I'm not able to manage this at all. So guru says, if you're not able to manage it, give it to me. I will do it, you go. He says, भाई क्या बोल दिया गुरु को तो करना पड़ेगा. So he hands over the kingdom to him. Then the guru asks him, अभी तेरा क्या है यहाँ पर? You're nothing, no? Everything is mine. He says, go. The poor king walks out. And as he walks out, the guru calls him. He says, come here. He says, okay, do one thing from tomorrow. All this is mine. Kingdom is mine. But you are going to run it. But remember, this is all mine. This is not yours.
Right.
After that, the king starts his duties the next day. But every time his minister tells him, sir, look here, my dear king, this is not yours. This belongs to that guy. So he does his duties. In the evening, he has a good night's sleep. He says, anyway, it's not mine. It's his. And he puts all his effort and mind into it without any stress because it's not mine. If he loses, it's not mine. It's his loss, not mine. And he rules the kingdom properly. And the kingdom, he is able to rule the kingdom properly. Only by this one notion, mama na idam. Idam na mama. This is not mine. So self-forgiving attitude is important. This is what the Bhagavad Gita tells you. In the Vibhuti Yoga, he tells you, I am everything. Krishna tells that I am everything in this world is Krishna. You are all pawns of the game. Like the sooner you realize in the sense if it should go very deep, the better it is. You will do your work properly. Then you will blame Krishna for it, not blame yourself.
Yeah, true. True. It's like that छोटा सा बच्चा हम देखते हैं ना ऐसे पकड़ के ऐसे उछालते हैं and that small little child laughs, not scared.
Yes.
तो इतना उछाल रहा है गिर जाऊंगा समझ में नहीं आते गिर.
So much confidence.
He's enjoying having confidence on that person
that he'll catch it.
And that makes it stressful.
That's the way we should be. We should learn to leave things, to that Almighty also. Of course, I wouldn't say at every point in time a person can think like this. Our indriya, the Maya takes over us and makes it. But sooner than later, you should correct yourself and bring yourself back to that point. Now, Vyadha, the word Vyadha literally means a butcher. A person who hunts, kills, is a Vyadha. And there is a Dharma Vyadha. So, a person is advised by somebody that if you have any problem with Dharma, then you go to Dharma Vyadha and get sorted, You have any doubts about Dharma, how to follow Dharma. So, this guy says, I have to go to a Dharma Vyadha. I have to go to a hunter. So, this Brahmin says, how this doesn't look good. So he goes and looks for Dharma Vyadha. He says that Dharma Vyadha is in Mithila. He goes to Mithila. And he says, where is this Dharma Vyadha? He asks people. They say, go left, right, and then he goes into a small alley. And he reaches a very dirty place. Very dirty place. And asks, well, Dharma Vyadha is here? Yes, he says, Dharma Vyadha is only here only. Go a little few meters ahead, you will see Dharma Vyadha is sitting there. So he goes there and he sees a butcher. He's cutting meat, and he says, you are Dharma Vyadha? He says, yes, I am Dharma Vyadha. Then he says, I want to ask you some questions about Dharma. Okay. He says, okay, you sit. I am doing my work now. You sit, let me finish my work and then I will talk to you. So this Brahmin sees him cutting the meat and cutting animals and cleaning and hanging and about 12:30 or 1 o'clock he gets free from this work and he cleans up the place and he says that, look here, before I talk to you, I have to go to home and I have to serve my old parents food, and then we will sit and talk. That is my duty, one of my duties. So he is surprised that this Vyadha, who is a killer, literally killing animals, he is a authority on dharma. This is a story in the Mahabharata. This talks about he is doing whatever he is doing it very well. His job, God has ordained him to become a butcher, so he is doing his work properly. Yoga karmasu kaushalam. That is where this whole thing.
Yeah.
So whatever you are doing, do it properly. Do it to the full of your ability. Apply your mind fully. Use all your faculties fully and do what you are doing. That is yoga.
मुझे लगता है आज के दिन में जो लोग कहते हैं और कि ये सब 60-70 की उम्र के बाद पढ़ने वाली या समझने वाली चीजें हैं, राइट? बट मुझे लगता है आज की तारीख में हमें ही राइट फ्रॉम द बिगिनिंग पढ़ने की सबसे ज्यादा जरूरत है, ऐसा मुझे लगता है।
यस, बिल्कुल बिल्कुल जरूरी है। 60-70 की उम्र में तो यू हैव ऑलरेडी filled yourself with a lot of garbage, which will be very difficult to remove.
Yeah.
Unlearning will become very difficult because you have already formed many notions and ideas. तो वो सब निकालना मुश्किल हो जाएगा. The effort required to remove them, by that time you would have learned all the nice things. जैसे कि in the Bhagavad Gita he says that the person who leaves the body uttering the Lord's name will come to me. He says, Sri Krishna gives a guarantee that if you are uttering, it's not, I'm literally translating it, but in the Sanskrit version, somewhat different. But okay, for now, if you have God in your mind and you leave your body, then that person will come to me. That is his assurance. So the question is, then how do you know when you are going to leave? Nobody knows when you are going to die, right? So it means that all the time, this should be there. All the time, this should be there. May not be on your tongue, but subconsciously, that submission should be there. That is what he is giving you advice.
Absolutely. कामत सर, आई थिंक मुझे नहीं लगता कि हमारा मन भरेगा आपकी बातें सुनने में, लेकिन हम फिर से एक बार आपसे जरूर मिलेंगे और हमें लगता है कि हमारे दर्शक भी और बहुत कुछ आपसे जानना चाहेंगे। बट फॉर नाउ कामत सर, हमारे दर्शकों के लिए या बाकी सभी लोगों के लिए आप क्या एक मैसेज देना चाहेंगे या क्या मैसेजेस आप देना चाहेंगे हमारे दर्शकों के लिए?
मैसेज ऐसे है कि हमारे जो शास्त्र हैं, बहुत सारे अच्छे अच्छे चीजें बोलते हैं हमारे को, एंड वी शुड अबाइड बाय इट. जहां डाउट है वहां वी हैव टू एनक्वायर. दिस इज अ कल्चर विच हैज ऑलवेज ट्राइड टू रीजन थिंग्स एंड नॉट मेड फोर्स समथिंग डाउन योर थ्रोट. अगर there is an element of doubt, then you are free to question, free to reason, free to convince yourself that it is right.
Absolutely.
And we have to follow this method. Absolutely. And जो हम अभी जो मॉडर्न बोलते हैं, उसके तरफ न जाते हुए हम अगर हमारे शास्त्र को फॉलो करें, नॉट ब्लाइंडली, आई एम नॉट सेइंग कि ब्लाइंडली फॉलो करें, फॉलो देम using your logic, using your reasoning, using the modern tools, life will be much better for yourself and everybody.
लॉर्ड कृष्ण ने अर्जुन से भी कहा था,
बिल्कुल,
कि अब खुद की बुद्धि लगाकर इस पर विचार कर, मैं कह रहा हूँ इसलिए मत
करो. The last part of the Bhagavad Gita, he says that you use your own. I have given you all the options. Now you use your own logic and come to it. Because we should always remember that Krishna is not the doer. The doer is Arjuna. He is the only giving you the options. Creating conditions. I heard a very beautiful story. It seems after Arjuna, the Draupadi Swayamvara, he has to hit the eye of the fish with his arrow, looking at the reflection in the water. So after this thing is over, Arjuna is no doubt very proud because he has done a very phenomenal task. He has looked at the reflection in the water and hit the eye of the fish with his arrow. So he tells Krishna that, see, I'm a great archer, a great Dhanurdhar I am. See, what did you do? So there is a beautiful reply of Krishna, which really struck me. So Krishna tells him, I kept the water still. What? So that is the essence of it, right? If the water was heavy, then this Dhanurdhar would not have been successful, and he could not have kept the water still. Only Krishna can do it. So this is the takeaway.
Absolutely. कामत सर, बहुत मजा आया आपसे बात करके और थैंक यू सो मच फॉर गिविंग अस योर टाइम, फॉर शेयरिंग योर विजडम विद ऑल ऑफ अस. हम फिर मिलेंगे और बहुत सारी बातें आपसे सुनेंगे और आपसे हमें ब्लेसिंग चाहिए कि हम भी और इस पे प्रोग्रेस कर सके और समझ सके और सीख सके.
बिल्कुल, आप बहुत अच्छा कर रहे हैं. यूजिंग दिस मीडियम, all people should follow our shastras, learn Sanskrit. It's very easy. This should be the sort of takeaway from this.
थैंक यू सो मच. फिर से
धन्यवाद.
आपके चरण.
थैंक यू सो मच.
थैंक यू सो मच.
दोस्तों, महेश कामत सर की बातों को सुनकर एक बात निश्चित हो गई. आज के हमारे इस जमाने में, इस फास्ट पेस्ड जमाने में, जहां लोग दौड़ लगाए जा रहे हैं बहुत सारी चीजें अचीव करने के लिए, नथिंग रॉन्ग इन अचीविंग थिंग्स, लेकिन इसके साथ साथ जो हम देखते हैं, लोग हमेशा कहते हैं कि बहुत ज्यादा स्ट्रेस है, एंजाइटी है, डर है, कहीं जेलसी दिखती है, कहीं अनहेल्दी कंपटीशन दिखता है और लोगों को समझ में नहीं आता कि हम क्या करें. हर इंसान कहता है कि हैप्पीनेस चाहिए, पीस ऑफ माइंड चाहिए, लेकिन मिलेगा कैसे, शायद इसका जवाब नहीं मिल पाता है. महेश कामत सर की बातों से यह बात समझ में आई कि यदि हम इस भाषा को सीखते हैं तो हम ऐसी कई सारी बातें समझ सकते हैं जो हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखी गई है. हमारे शास्त्रों में इन सारी बातों का जवाब बड़े क्लियरली दिया गया है. जैसे उन्होंने कहा भी कि किस तरह से हम फोकस रख के काम कर सकते हैं, किस तरह से हम अपनी आईनेस जो है, जहां पर लगता है कि सारी चीजें मैं ही कर रहा हूं और मैं सरेंडर नहीं कर पाता और उसकी वजह से कई सारी मुश्किलें मैं इनवाइट अपने आप के लिए कर लेता हूं. तो ये सारी बातें यदि हम हमारे शास्त्रों को पढ़ेंगे और समझेंगे तो हमें इन सब बातों का जवाब जरूर मिल जाएगा. और एक और बात दोस्तों, ये जो भाषा है ना, इसे दैवी भाषा कहा जाता है. सर की बातों से यह बात एक और समझ में आई कि किस तरह हम इस भाषा को एक अलग नजरिए से भी देख सकते हैं. शायद ईश्वर हमसे बहुत कुछ कहना चाहते हैं और वही हमारे शास्त्रों में लिखा है, लेकिन क्योंकि मैं इस भाषा को नहीं जानता, मैं शायद ईश्वर का संदेश समझ ही नहीं पाता हूं. तो दोस्तों, यदि जीवन में हमें क्लैरिटी चाहिए, यदि जीवन में हमें कामनेस चाहिए, जीवन में हमें हैप्पीनेस चाहिए, और यदि हम संस्कृत भाषा को सीखकर हमारे शास्त्रों को पढ़ते हैं, तो हमारा यह मानना है कि वो कामनेस, वो हैप्पीनेस सदा हमारे साथ रहेगी. तो दोस्तों, आज का हमारा ये वीडियो यदि आपको पसंद आया है तो इसे लाइक जरूर कीजिए. अपने दोस्तों के साथ, अपने रिश्तेदारों के साथ इसे ज्यादा से ज्यादा शेयर कीजिए. हमारे डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्स में हमने आपके लिए एक फूड फॉर थॉट लिखा है, उसे पढ़िए और आपके कमेंट्स जरूर लिखिए. और यदि अभी तक आपने हमारे इस चैनल को सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया है तो तुरंत सब्सक्राइब करें, बेल आइकन पर क्लिक करें ताकि हमारे नए वीडियोस आप तक तुरंत पहुंच जाए. दोस्तों, एक महेश कामत सर आपके अंदर भी है, एक महेश कामत सर मेरे अंदर भी है. जरूरत है हमें उनको पहचानने की, और जब हम वो कर लेंगे तो ये बनेगी आपकी भी कहानी, ये बनेगी मेरी भी कहानी, और इस तरह ये बन जाएगी कहानी हम सबकी। बहुत जल्द हम आपसे फिर मिलेंगे एक नए रियल लाइफ हीरो के साथ। तब तक के लिए प्लीज टेक गुड केयर ऑफ योरसेल्फ। नमस्कार।